Hi, good morning to everyone present here. I would like to extend my warm wishes to you all on this academic year of learning. Dear students, success has no shortcuts, but today let us be responsible and sincere in this pandemic and try to learn everything with fun and adventures. So, my today's topic is on a legendary writer, dramatist, playwright, and many more. The great name that is William Shakespeare, who was born in 1564 till 1616, is an English poet and playwright, widely regarded as the greatest writer in English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. His plays have been translated into many major living languages and are performed more often than those of any other playwrights. So, dear students, when we are going to, before we begin the topic, we are going to have a pre-reading activity which is going to tell the content of the topic. So before I could penetrate deeply into the topic, I would like to tell you that what pre-reading activity suggests. So you can see on your screens the pre-reading activity, 2 questions that are given here. Have you ever heard of any legendary classical love stories? So discuss. So the second question is that in what manner do these stories usually end and why? So now let us switch on to our first question. Have you ever heard of any legendary classical love stories? So, okay. There are many love stories what we keep on hearing. Some they are going to end in a very tragic manner. So today we are going to learn the same. The story, the love story that has its end in a very tragic manner. So that is Romeo and Juliet. It is a famous legendary classical love story and which had a very tragic end. So, okay. Now let us know about the second question. As I already discussed, now again let me brief you with this. In what manner do these stories usually end and why? So let us know about why. For why, we do have many questions because all the love stories are not going to end in that manner what we are going to think. There are many such love stories which have even a good end also. But now let us not prolong the topic and let us come for the topic. So this topic is given in the form of a poem, but it is actually a drama. So we need to have a little background about this. Students, you can see the background introduction of Romeo and Juliet, which is displayed on the screens. So, okay, let us know about that. So when we are going to directly talk about Romeo and Juliet, before knowing their background, it may not be so fruitful, neither it is going to yield a very good result to us. So let us have the background knowledge of this. The two noble families of Verona, the Capulets and the Montagues, were sworn enemies. So sworn enemies means what? That type of enemies who had a staunch enmity, staunch rivalry, we can say, a very strong rivalry. That strong rivalry that they did not tolerate anything from the opposite side. Such a strong rivalry. So under such circumstances, if Romeo and Juliet, who are from the enemy families, are going to meet, then what will be their fate? Right? So now let us say, Romeo and Juliet belonged to the rival families. Old Lord Capulet hosted a grand supper. Though Romeo belonged to the family of Montagues, he attended the supper in disguise to see Rosalind. There he sees Juliet on the dance floor and is fascinated by her beauty. After the dance, he learns that she is the daughter of Lord Capulet. She feels attracted to the man from the enemy family. And now, the following verses express their implicit feeling for one another. So here implicit means that kind of deep feeling. So now students, you came to know about the background story of Romeo and Juliet. So according to some of the scenes that have been given, Act 1, Scene 5, you can see on your screens, it means before he was fallen in love with Juliet, he went to Rosalind to meet her. Now when we are going to know about Romeo and Juliet, we think that, we feel it is right from the beginning that Juliet or Romeo has fallen in love with one another. We will be skeptical about that. No? So now let me clear that doubt of yours. So here Romeo, who is from the enemy family, goes to the supper, he attends the supper, though he is not invited, and he goes in disguise, dressing himself that he should not be identified. He goes not to meet Juliet, he goes and meet Rosalind. Rosalind, cousin of Juliet. Okay. But before he could go and meet her, he sees such a beautiful lady on the dance floor who is Juliet. And as soon as he sees her, he is so fascinated towards her that he stands stunned there. And after that, here the poet brings the feeling of Romeo towards Juliet at the very first sight of seeing her. So that is what the first versions say here. So now let me read those versions to you from Act 1, Scene 5. So before I read that, let me clear you a few points. And here the meanings that are given in the poetry does not have only one meaning. There are 2 to 3 meanings. Generally we are going to have one meaning which is in general, and we are also going to have poetical meanings for the time being of that part of the drama or poetry or whatever that is going to be lasted. General meaning in sense, generally we are going to talk. So the poet here uses some of the words, or you can even say as adjectives. He uses those words which makes us understand the poetry properly. Okay? Now let us go through the versions told by Romeo. So you can see on your screens. Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Utopia's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady wore her fellows' shoes. The measures are done. I will watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till love forswear its sight? For I never saw true beauty till this night. Okay? Now, as I already told you, the lines or the words that are being colorfully used by the poet will not give the general meaning. It has got even a poetical meaning also. So, on top of that, let me make you understand the punctuation is also more important in the poetry. In the very first line, after the finishing of the line, the poet has used an exclamatory mark there. So what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that when Romeo has seen Juliet, he was spellbound to see her beauty. And he went on describing her beauty by using the word torches. So now let me come to the general point of view. Right? Generally, I told you they are going to have a general meaning. Torches, which means that thing which gives some brightness, an object. Or you can even consider it as a light, any kind of light it may be, which gives brightness. But here, he is using the word torches. That means she was so beautiful and bright, brighter than the light of the torches. That is generally we understand. And when we are going to go deeply into the poetical meaning, we will have a different concept of light. The different concept is that, in one sense, he says that torches are very bright, but the brightness of Juliet is more brighter than the torches. So such a beautiful and bright lady. Even we can broadly understand another meaning through poetical sense. That is, torches to burn bright. Oh, she that D-O-T-H. It is an old poetical form of language. That means does. Okay. She does teach torches to burn bright. In sense what? It is who she has taught the torches to burn bright. We are going to take the meaning like that. But it is not like that, dear students. The meaning is that torches to burn bright incense, he says to us that he feels so strongly torches are having the brightness. How is that they got the brightness? Maybe they have taken, or maybe somebody has seen the brightness of Juliet, and that brightness is being given to the torches. That sense we are going to understand. So because he is not able to compare her brightness to anything, so he is not that he is confused, but he does not have fling of words to say that. So only the exclamatory mark is used there. Right? So let me once again clear you in a simple way. The first line says that the brightness of the torches are less, whereas the brightness of Juliet is very, very, very bright. The brightness of torches is a failure in front of Juliet's brightness. So, it seems she hangs upon the cheek of night. So here, night does not have any structure, neither the day has. But poetries are so written in that form, it is going to create a great impact on the reader and forces us to understand very clearly. So it seems she hangs upon the cheek of night. As I told you, there is no structure, but we will have to imagine here. So, dear students, one line explanation is given to you. So let me, in the next class, let me completely tell you about that Romeo's feeling towards Juliet. Okay? So before that, we could go, or we understand the versions that are told by Romeo or appreciated by Romeo to Juliet. You make it clear that whatever the doubts you have in the introduction, you can clear in the next class. So I would like to conclude this topic of today by saying that we are in the state of pandemic, so let us not feel something different, but let us have the reading with fun and adventures as we are going to have in the classes. So dear students, take care, be home and be safe. Okay, bye.